What's going on there, YouTube? Back once again in the shed, and I welcome you. Sorry I haven't been about, but it's been Christmas and I've been concentrating on the family, as you should do as well. Stop sitting on YouTube watching videos unless you've got no family and that's what you want to do. Then go right ahead. No dramas. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. Well, I try not to. Yeah, every time nah, things are good. I'm alright. I've got no negativity, no upsets. Everything's sweet as. I've had a good Christmas. It's New Year's Eve, so I'm going to put this out quickly. It's earlier in the day than I normally make these videos, so I thought I'd get one up before all the madness starts happening later. Nah, I'm only joking. I'm not going out, not doing nothing. Gonna spend it at home with the kids. Lay low. I haven't been out on New Year's Eve for a few years, to be fair. I think that thing kind of dies out once you've got, you know, a tribe of kids. I remember the last time I went out on a mad one on New Year's Eve. All that's in my younger days. Okay, so I'm gonna slap up a review, and I'm gonna do today. And I did write down the name of this one because I thought I might balls it up, but I'm gonna do Fox von Erksom Babaton Plain Blue. It's a South African snuff, so I'm expecting something strong in ammonia, very coarse, pungent. You know, I quite like the South African snuffs. I wouldn't use them all the time, but yeah, I do. I quite like them. I did try and do a little bit of research because I'd never heard of Fox. What was it? Fox von Erksom. Never heard of them. Didn't know nothing about it. Just seen it on Mr. Snuff. It was on sale. I think it was like nearly £3 or something. I think it's like $4 something. But yeah, so I clicked it and seen to see what it was about, really. These South African snuffs come in these plastic tubs that are not the greatest, I don't think. I mean, there's no rubber seal on them or anything like that, so I thought I'd get it out and do it before it dried out in my box or something. I haven't aired it out, so if you don't like ammonia, you probably want to air these South African snuffs out. But as I said before, ammonia does not bother me, and you know, the reason is because if anyone out there has ever done carpet cleaning for on commercially as a job, they can, you know, back up what I'm saying. But you get a chemical. It comes in several ways. Sometimes it's like a powder, you put a scoop and mix it with water in a spray bottle. Sometimes it comes in like two different bottles and you mix them together and it activates. But either way, when you mix it up, it stinks of ammonia, and did I say it's a coffee remover? And you know, like when people start first using that, normally they find it really hard to deal with, but after a while I just became numb to it. So yeah, I rabbit on about that, but I don't think, unless you've actually worked with that chemical, I don't think you actually understand how strong the ammonia is, and then you realise that this isn't that strong. So let's pop it open and see what she's saying, shall we? Okay, so it looks very dark, very coarse. Mine's got like one big fleck of tobacco that obviously I don't think. Oh no, I dropped it. Damn, man. It was like a strand of tobacco. But I don't think you can claim that it's consistently ground. So, but you know, for the most part, it's all right. It's packed in there, solid, man. Yeah, so very coarse, very moist, and very, very dark. There is a bit of a two-tone thing going on about it. You can see like a few flecks of like low, lighter golden tobacco in there, but for the most part, it's very, very dark. Basically, it's on the high end of everything. High moisture, high on the coarseness, um, you know, and they're normally really high on the nicotine as well. Okay, out the tin, yeah, you get a whack of ammonia. So there is a bit of that sort of ammonia pissy smell. But as I say, that doesn't bother me. If it bothers you, air the tin out and it should be fine. But under that, you're getting that, and I know I've been saying barnyard a lot of late, but this is not an Indian slight sort of animal barnyardy. This is strong barnyard, you know, hay, earthy, sort of, you know, dirt and you know, sort of animals. A lot of people say they can smell manure. I don't personally get that. I don't get a manure smell. I get a pissy smell from the ammonia, but yeah, I don't get it. But you know, snuff, scent, much like taste, really is quite subjective. Look, this is, well, you'll see in the camera, but this is well packed in there. I'm just sort of like scraping it at the top. Alright, as far as coarseness goes though, now I broke it up, I wouldn't say it's as coarse as NTSU. That one was very coarse. This I'd say is a little bit, it's still very coarse, but it's a little bit finer than that one. But now I've actually scraped it off, it looks pretty consistent. You know, there was a few like big like bits of leaves stuck to the top, but now it's looking pretty, you know, good to go. So let's go. As with these high coarseness ones, when you take a bump, you might need to pinch your nose just to help keep it up there, because otherwise it'll want to fall out. Okay, so it's got a nice burn. Yeah, it's got a nice satisfying burn, but it's not a painful over the top burn. That's a nice, you know, like a nice positive reinforcement for me. That's why I like the burn, because it sort of tells my brain that you get the nicotine now. But as I say, once I get it in my nose, I don't get a lot of the ammonia. I can smell it, but I mean, I'm getting that full on barnyard. Right, break down the barnyard. So it's like a sort of, it is like a barnyard or a stable, or you know, like it smells kind of like hay and grass and there's just something a little bit like animal like about it. But it's not, I'm not getting manure. I don't get that. Yeah, it's nice. It's got good nicotine. Like, again, this is one of them ones that I've took one bump. Admittedly, they're quite hefty bumps, but I can feel the nicotine pulse going to my head. So the only problem I find with these higher courses snuffs, because I take quite large bumps, my nose gets quite overloaded quite quickly. So I end up having to blow my nose out. And when it comes to purging your nose, it is dreadful. There's no way of putting it around it. For me, it's not one you're going to take to the pub. It's definitely a sit at home and enjoy snuff. But because of that coarseness, it's easy to take. You haven't got to worry about it shooting down the back of your throat or anything like that. I find this one probably a little bit easier to take than that NTSU, because like I said, that one was a little bit coarser, so it tended to want to fall out my nose a lot more. Whereas this one seems to go up and it wants to sit there. But yeah, now I've got it, the ammonia is completely gone. And I'm just getting, yeah, like hay, grass, and earthy. Um, it is very sort of pungent. Like, it's not. It's, it's very present. The smell's there. You haven't got to sort of hunt for it. But if you do sort of start hunting in it, you can you can start to pick up sort of like a bit of woodiness and a bit of a nuttiness. Maybe a little bit of caramel, sort of like a caramelized sort of scent. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I'm quite enjoying it. Let's take the third bump and wrap this up, shall we? God, I think my belly's rumbling. Oh, the camera is not picking that up. You're gonna think there's a gremlin sat under my seat. Yeah, no, it's nice. I like it. I'm starting to get a bit of like, I can feel it starting to want to drip towards the back a bit now. I don't really get too much front drip from South African snuffs. I think after a while, if I remember, I do get a bit, but then you purge your nose and you're fine. But right now, I can just sort of taste and feel it sitting on the back of my throat. Yeah, I don't see no reason not to give it a seal of approval, because I like it. But then personally, I quite like South African snuffs. As I say, I wouldn't take them all the time, but I've normally got one pottering about in my rotation. High nicotine, my head is starting to throb a bit from it. It's not as high as like white elephant and things like that. I wouldn't say after 3 big bumps it's not giving me a headache, but if I kept on taking it at this pace I would start to get a headache. So yeah, so that's one man's take. I shall leave it there. So remember, I'm gonna cut off, I think. Yeah, no, there's nothing else I wanted to say. I had to think about it then. No, nothing. Okay, so I will leave it there. I hope you have a happy new year. I hope you have a good time in whatever you're doing. And don't drink too much. I'm not. I'm staying off the beers. I might have one or two later, but I'm not getting drunk. I'm not, I promise. So remember to tap, pinch and toot, because that's 3 ingredients to your enjoyment, and your enjoyment is all I've got for you. So remember to come back to the shed, and I shall see you next time. And until then, I shall bid you farewell.